Ever wanted to go camping but didn't know where to start? Picture this: a crackling fire, the great outdoors, and the perfect marshmallow roast. Camping is a gateway to adventure, a chance to reconnect with nature, and an opportunity to learn new skills. But we get it, the thought of venturing into the wilderness can seem a bit daunting, especially if you're a beginner. Fear not, for we've got your back. This video is your one-stop guide to becoming a camping champ. We'll break down the essentials from gear to campsite selection, setting up camp, and even safety precautions. So, are you ready to embrace the wild? Ready to explore the wilderness? Stick around, you'll be a camping pro in no time. First things first, essential gear. You don't want to find yourself in the middle of nowhere without the right tools. Let's start with a tent. It's your home away from home, your shelter from the elements. Next, a good sleeping bag. Why? Temperatures can drop dramatically at night even in summer. A flashlight is also a must. It's not just for navigating in the dark, it's also a great tool for signaling in case of emergencies. Now let's not forget a first aid kit. Accidents happen, and it's always best to be prepared. Insect repellent, antiseptics, bandages, you name it. And of course, a multi-tool. It's a knife, a can opener, a screwdriver, all in one. Last but not least, always carry a map and compass. Even in this era of GPS and smartphones, these old-school tools can be lifesavers when batteries fail or signals drop. Remember, the right gear can make or break your camping experience. Next up, choosing the right campsite. This is where your adventure begins. Finding the perfect place to pitch your tent is an art in itself. Safety should be your top priority. Look for a spot that's flat, free from rocks and roots, and away from any potential hazards like falling branches or wildlife paths. Now, proximity to water is a double-edged sword. While it's convenient to be near a water source for cooking and cleaning, you don't want to be too close. Rivers can rise in the night, and lakes often attract wildlife. A good rule of thumb is to set up camp about 200 feet away from a water source. Lastly, consider the weather. If it's windy, find a location with natural windbreaks like trees or hills. If rain is forecast, avoid valleys where water might pool. Choose wisely. Your campsite is your temporary home in the wilderness. You've chosen your campsite. Now what? Time to set up camp. First up, we pitch the tent. Find a flat, smooth area free from sharp objects. Unpack your tent and assemble the poles. Lay out the tent material and thread the poles through the designated slots. Once done, secure the tent to the ground with stakes. Next, arrange your sleeping bags. Position them away from the tent walls to avoid moisture. If it's cold, use a sleeping pad for insulation. Finally, let's set up a campfire. Choose a spot at least 15 feet away from your tent. Gather 3 types of wood: tinder, kindling, and fuel wood. Start small with a nest of tinder. Add kindling, then gradually add larger pieces of wood. Remember, never leave a fire unattended and put it out completely before sleeping. Great, your camp is set. Now you can focus on enjoying your adventure. Last but not least, safety first, always. In the great outdoors, it's essential to prioritize your well-being. This means staying hydrated. Drinking plenty of water is crucial to avoid dehydration, especially when you're exerting energy hiking and setting up camp. Now let's talk about food storage. You might love the idea of midnight snacks, but so do wildlife. Keep your food stored away from your sleeping area to avoid unexpected furry visitors. Lastly, never venture too far from your camp without a compass or a GPS. It's easy to lose your bearings in unfamiliar terrain, so keep these tools handy and stay safe. Remember, safety first, then fun. There you have it, the basic camping tips for beginners. Easy, right? We've covered the essential gear you'll need, how to choose the perfect campsite, the ins and outs of setting up camp, and the safety precautions to keep in mind. Remember, preparation is key, and respect for nature is paramount. So pack your bags, check your gear, and find that perfect spot under the stars. Now you are ready for your camping adventure. The wilderness awaits. Happy camping.